studio. 9 o'clock, and it is time for Sports Inside the Locker Room for a Feel Good Friday. Joining Kaide and myself, Shopper Martins, we have got the lady in yellow for the nails in purple. Tiger, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Tiger.
I should trudge it slowly over. Do you want to use your writer's tool?
You took the words out of my mouth.
Good morning, everybody. Thank God it's Friday. My heart is paining me.
My goodness, people. It's finally happened. We share one mind. I knew this day would come. And Dr. Rose, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm good.
Have you been on Twitter? That was your assignment.
We're going to help you get on Twitter today. Okay, right after the show, I'll take your phone and then we'll log in. No, we'll create an account.
Wait, hold on. Don't you have an account on Twitter? Is it
It's
Instagram?
on Instagram.
Oh, have you
On
been on
Instagram.
Instagram?
On and off.
People
It's not
have
that
opened
bad.
their accounts. People will now be posting too. Because as we are here, I can tell
We'll
you.
look for content to post. But Lagos, you can be part of our talk this morning. As always, we're streaming live on YouTube. So it's youtube.com/smooth91FM Lagos. And you can reach out to us on WhatsApp. Please send your WhatsApp messages to 0809-444-0981. And finally, use the hashtag LockerRoom981 on Twitter to be part of our conversation. Don't forget there are 2 hours in Locker Room. So let's get to it.
All right, people. So Femi is in the news because talks for Anthony Joshua to step aside from his rematch with Alexander Usyk are on the verge of collapse. Now, Fury is now expected to fight mandatory challenger Dillian White with purse bids for the bout due on Friday. And then there was a lot of back and forth about who exactly was the reason behind this.
Okay, so huge deal. You know how boxing world can be with all the drama. Sometimes I think they just do this drama to get attention. It's not like anybody really wants to do anything. So Anthony Joshua has that mandatory rematch with Usyk and to try and get back his belt. However, Tyson Fury and his camp and Eddie Hearn, who is Anthony Joshua's promoter, had these talks to have the two guys with titles fight each other. So Tyson Fury fighting against Usyk. According to Eddie Hearn, though, that he was saying it was that Tyson Fury doesn't want to fight Usyk. He was trying to make it look like Tyson Fury was afraid of Usyk, that he doesn't want to fight Usyk, that they don't want to agree on a purse and to pay Anthony Joshua, and that at the end of the day, it seems Tyson Fury would rather fight Dillian White, who's an easier fight.
Yeah.
So Tyson Fury's promoter comes to say, no, that's not true. That what it is that Eddie Hearn and AJ want to collect $20 million instead of $15 million, which is what they should be collecting to step aside. Sorry. And that's why there can't be an agreement. So today we're not going to waste our time looking for people that want extra $5 million. We are going to go and fight Dylan, who is our compulsory bout. And Tyson Fury is just sitting in the corner like, you know what? Whichever guy you bring, whether you bring Usyk, whether you bring AJ, whether you bring Dylan, I'm whooping their behinds. Like anybody you bring, I'm ready to just give me somebody to fight. So that's what it is right now. So according to Eddie Hearn, who is more a business PR guy, he's saying, oh, that this thing could still go on if they continue talking. But the way Tyson Fury is looking, you know, him and his people, they are very straightforward.
Yeah.
We're not fighting again. It's only 15 million we can give you. We are not fighting again. So if you don't want the 15M, it means that the fight is over. So that's where the situation is right now. So yes, AJ will have to fight Usyk for his belt since they have not agreed for the money. They should what?
He should fight Usyk.
Yeah, so that what will happen? So that they'll beat him again. Please.
Was she here when I said this? I'm worried for the guy.
So they'll beat him again. Even the guy knows that if I just look, at the end of the day, you can be talking legacy if you want, but for Anthony Joshua, there's this mindset when somebody has comprehensively beaten you, it's not easy to come back and try psychologically to beat that person, except, you know, like with Andy Ruiz, he knew that was a blunder. With Usyk, he was soundly beaten.
Yeah.
Tactically, he was
Everywhere
beaten.
you can look at it.
Technically, he was beaten. So it's hard for you to come back. So he'd rather take the money, take a walk. When they beat Usyk, he'll come and beat that person. That's just he'll come and beat. When they beat Usyk, he'll come and challenge, because to overcome psychologically the person that's done it is hard. So if you ask,
Mind
I don't want
over
to speak
muscle.
on AJ's behalf, but that's what I'm thinking that he's thinking.
All right, let's move on. Remember 0809 440 981. Send those WhatsApp messages in, and we're gonna give you a rundown of all the stories that we're going to be covering today because we know that you want to talk about them. So, Formula One, we're gonna be talking about that in just a bit because they are planning a new race management structure after the Abu Dhabi controversy. My Lewis. And Ashley Barty to meet Danielle Collins in Melbourne final. Let's see what happens there. We've also got more news on the sporting front. Ghana confirmed the sacking of coach after their AFCON exit.
Ghana, Nigeria, branded.
Yeah.
To be fair, I mean, they were taking this thing rather harshly. And Brazil's Alisson sees 2 red cards overturned in a World Cup draw with Ecuador. While we've got Serie A on the verge of financial ruin, Inter CEO
How
Marotta
did it go
says.
that bad? Wow. Anyway,
Before you-
Yeah, don't worry. We want to know what you think about
just
that.
know whether it's gaslighting first now.
And a German FA bans coach for using fake vaccination papers. He was one of those that paid for it. Okay. And Benzema cash seized by France in sex tape case.
well,
These
Yeah.
are very, very
Today is Friday.
interesting
Yeah.
stories.
All right.
I'm excited.
okay, so let's talk about the FIA. So Formula One's governing body is planning a new race management structure in an attempt to avoid a repeat of the problems of last year. Now that's the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Now sources have told the BBC that FIA's plans are to introduce a series of safeguards that will leave the race director freer to make decisions in a calmer environment.
Okay, so here is what the situation is now. They clearly admit or accept that there was a problem with the last
race.
final lap of Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. But they're trying to make excuses for Michael Massey, saying, "Oh, he was under a lot of pressure." So they've been talking to team directors and all. Some team directors were like, "Look, that Abu Dhabi Grand Prix was just a culmination of all the mistakes he's making all season, you know." so some teams are like, if you like changing, if you like not changing, we don't care. Just at the end of the day, just let us make sure the rules are the ones that we can follow. Not that you make rules today and you'll be switching them on the day of the races. Some people suspect that Mercedes and some of the teams that they are engine providers for are pushing for Michael Massey to be fired. Red Bull is saying that they categorically said they don't want him fired.
Oh,
but we
Yes,
know
that's
he
why.
we understand why.
You don't say.
but at the end of the day, the FIA sources have told the BBC that the FIA have been trying to, so instead of just have the race director, but have a mediator in between. So that mediator is the guy that is communicating with the teams and then taking it back to the boss. So at the end of the day, you know, like the secretary at your door, if he says Oga is not in, even if you can hear Oga talking inside, Oga is not in. Yeah. So that guy is going to be like that secretary in between, mediating, so that at the end of the day, the teams, if they have problems during the race, they can harass that guy, while the race director, if he's still Michael Massey, doesn't notice, cannot hear because he's not there. So I understand adding that role, truth be told, because Charlie Whiting had, you know, some roles take on the person of the individual that had the role. So Charlie Whiting was the kind of guy that even when they spoke to him, they had a little bit of respect. Like, you don't just go to him and talk to him.
I said, Charlie.
Exactly. So there was a way they approached him. It's different from the way they talk to Michael Massey. Michael Massey looks like the school prefect that everybody was bullying. Charlie Whiting was the principal that smiled as he expelled you from school.
I love it.
So there was a different approach. So they just want to create that rule so that regardless of who is the race director, he has a saner environment working. So we'll wait to see how all this pans out. For now, this is a back and forth chatter coming out from inside the F1. What is the official result? We will find out in March.
Okay. All right. So we've got tennis news, and we talked about this thing, and just like joke, she did it.
I know.
Ashley Barty became the first home player to reach the Australian Open women's singles final in 42 years
Whoa.
as she beat Madison Keys in straight sets. She couldn't even give her something.
Right.
Straight sets on a jubilant Rod Laver arena. So she won 6-1, 6-3 against the unseeded American. That's okay.
So Ashley Barty has been on a run, 10-match winning streak. This is the longest she's ever had in her career. I mean, she's been playing like there is nobody else. Like the matches are so easy for her. She got out of the court in less than 70 minutes. That's how fast the match was. I mean, she's playing so well, although she's not played any top 10 seed, but because they've all fallen out of the tournament by their different opponents.
Yeah, wow.
So
Yeah.
it's a really wild west on the female side, but Ashley Barty has been consistent. She's been consistent for the past 2 years since she's been world number one, and it's beautiful to watch. Danielle Collins is a new face in the final. This is her first final, you know, since her surgery in last year when she had endometriosis. She's been like she was reborn again, like a new birth, because I mean after her surgery she was able to win two WTA finals, and she's now in the finals, beat many
But,
big players.
Auntie May, Madison Keys, didn't we also think that she had the eye of the tiger?
Yeah, but she had injuries after her first US Open final, and then she was really out a lot. And then she played very fantastic matches. But Ashley Barty has the home crowd. I mean, and I think she's focused, she's determined, she knows what she wants, and then I think the Australian people needed a different news outside Novak Djokovic, and you can see that they've been doing that in all the matches. In the mixed doubles, they were in the finals, and both in the finals of the men doubles. So you could see that they are really home to give something to their people for standing up to whatever it is that they wanted to drive home. The stadiums are not still very full. I think it has to do with the pandemic and there maybe the regulations. But I mean, it's beautiful to watch. Even on the men's side, you see Rafael Nadal is into the finals now of the men. The men Australian Open 2022 finals. There's a next semi-final match coming up soon, so we'll see who he's gonna play against, either Daniel Medvedev or Tsitsipas.
Well, we know who we want.
What?
We want the guy who can give him a run for his time.
Yes.
Tsitsipas.
No, it's gonna be Medvedev.
Medvedev is the one guy that will beat Nadal.
Because he's very defensive.
No, but
he's very cold.
Very defensive. He goes after every
single shot.
Yes.
Medvedev is the guy. Is the one guy I can sleep and say that guy will beat Nadal.
Yes.
I want the guy that will just frustrate him with his own medicine.
No, I want the guy that will beat Nadal. Is Medvedev.
Yes.
The guy that will frustrate him with his own medicine is Tsitsipas.
So hold on, with Medvedev's constitution, time breaks. I mean, he's gonna be like whatever. What time?
Yeah,
That's
whatever.
him.
Yes, that's him.
He will not be distracted. It's
Yes.
after the match. He
Yes.
will come and say he was sleeping in the bathroom.
That's
That's how Medvedev can see your antics and your tantrums and not get distracted.
Yes.
I
So-
feel like we'll save this one.
Yeah,
for
we'll
later.
save this one for
Yeah.
post-match conference.
Yeah.
That's what he does. But the other guys are the ones that usually get distracted. So if you ask me, the guy I think would most likely beat Rafa Nadal would be Medvedev. But hey,
It would be nice to see Tsitsipas.
This is like tennis Christmas.
Yeah,
I love it.
beautiful.
I don't care who wins it. If Nadal goes to win 21, that's great for him. If Medvedev goes to win, my own was at Novak.
You're sounding like
Yeah.
Nadal. You're sounding like him. Because like whether Djokovic is here, without him, with him is gonna be great.
And he
Yeah.
didn't lie. It's been great.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, Joko. All right, let's move on. Actually, you know what? Let's take a quick break. But when we get back, more sports on the other side, inside the locker room.
Oh my God, it's so cold here.
Oh
Is
my
it?
God, I love locker room.
We get to make you smile. Eh?
It's the only place I have female companionship on this show. I love locker room.
You guys are late.
What did Larry from the abroad do to you?
The letter A doesn't actually feature in any number from 1 to 999. Not till you get to 1000. We're talking about things that we learned when we were 2 years old. Did you know that when you get measles, well, you know,
You would know that.
immune amnesia, that apparently the measles wipes out your body's memory of like combating all other diseases.
Really?
Yeah,
Why can
so
I?
even colds.
So why can I remember? Okay, it wipes out my body's DNA, not my own
No,
memory.
your body's
Your body's
No, your body-
You've had it before.
like your body.
I've had
immune
measles and I've had
memory.
chicken pox and I can remember all.
So, he doesn't play with your mind.
Not
Your,
your mind.
not your
Not your
memory,
mind,
body
your body.
cells.
No,
But
but
then
my
how did you
body-
not manage?
Memory
That's crazy.
cells.
Don't,
Everybody
how did we not know
That's
this?
why
Chicken
they
pox
give
and
the
measles,
vaccine,
just
because
different
really,
ones.
really, really, really,
Wow.
really
So it doesn't make any sense that if she can remember how her body.
No,
No,
how can you remember how you
it's not,
eat?
it's not,
It's
no,
your
what I'm talking
body.
about. It's not your body.
Your internals.
it's your
I don't know how to explain.
It's not your
memory,
mind,
not
it's your body
mind.
that forgot.
The cells,
yeah, it's your body, it's your cells that forget.
Not your
So my
Jesus, your people.
my
What's
chicken
going
pox were
on?
just like two. And apart from my siblings had like all over their body. Me, I had just two. But those two on my lower back, I'll never forget how they scratched. Just two. And then
Huh?
my mom said, it's only
Oh,
two,
God,
you
what
go
have
to
I done?
school. So I was the only person in the car. And we had a mini bus that used to take all of us because we were plenty. Like my mother raised like 11 children.
Oh wow.
So 3 were in secondary school and the rest of us were in primary school. So I was now the only person in the minibus. Cold was catching me. The driver was looking at me saying, "Are you okay?"
I had my measles and my chicken pox after I took the vaccine.
Then I had it was after I took
After,
vaccine.
I'm
Yes.
confused. What?
So I don't remember if I took it as a child, but when we were tracking our pediatric posting, when you have, so they make you take it because I didn't have any documentation to show that I'm taking it.
Ooh.
So after I took the vaccines, I had the illness. So
Oh,
I
wow.
think I had double membranes or whatever for my cells. It was interesting. So whenever I take vaccines, I'm always cautious because even when I took the COVID vaccine, I think I had COVID after the vaccine. So
What
wow.
kind of?
I was sick.
It's
like
like the whole sick. You're back.
But that's the goal anyway.
Studio. Okay, here we are, back inside the locker room, talking with the doctor about stuff that we talked about during Lagos Talks. But right now, it's time for sports.
Yes. And that's why you should never miss the halftime show on YouTube.
That's right.
When you
.com.
on YouTube, if you weren't, you missed.
I love the way you say YouTube. When you're on YouTube, it sounds so
YouTube.
very posh. She's giving it a different kind of flavor. So youtube.com/smooth981 FM Lagos. Leave your comments on the live stream. We are here. We are watching you, watching us.
Let's talk
And we
about
are
the
waiting
NHL.
for your messages.
Yes. Okay, so Ghana, they're back in the news again. So they've confirmed the dismissal of their coach, that's Milovan Rajevac, after their early shock exit from the Cup of Nations finals, and must now move on quickly and find a new coach for the World Cup playoffs in 2 months' time. Now, here's a quote. It says, after considering 3 reports and engagements with key stakeholders, the GFA has decided to end its relationship with Rajevac. The statement said, now the GFA will continue to announce the reconstituted technical team and management committee after due engagement with the relevant stakeholders.
Yeah, so basically, when they find a new coach, they will tell you.
Isn't Rajevac a very popular footballer?
I don't know about football, but he's been their coach before. In
No.
the
Why are you looking at it that way?
He's been a journeyman African coach.
yeah.
Yeah. 'cause I
Um,
know- oh yeah, I remember him now.
He's been a journeyman African coach. But yes, bottom line, they're saying they have sacked their coach, and when they hire somebody, they will tell you. So people should stop pushing names towards them.
So AFCON Gate must never happen again.
Yeah, that's it. That's the bottom line. But also news coming out from Ghana is that the fallout from all of this. You know, there's also in-house fighting in Ghana. The fallout from all this that the Ayu brothers want to quit the Black Stars. I'm like, you want to? I bet the Pure sons want to quit the Black Stars. How does that happen? So yeah, a really huge deal for him.
Man.
How for them. But on the other note, the quarterfinal positions have been set,
Yeah.
and it appears that your prayers have been answered. Because the Pharaoh you saw on the first day, you are seeing them no more because you are home and they are still in Cameroon.
That's a sign.
So, all I can say is that the team you beat is now in quarterfinal and you're not there.
Yeah.
What did it profit you?
Oh.
to get invited at the party, only to
Oh,
be kicked
man.
out when the food was about to come in.
Oh,
It's
boy.
just sad. But yeah, so yeah,
Man.
Egypt are through, and they play Morocco in the quarterfinals. Cameroon again gets another lucky draw. They play Gambia. Burkina Faso is up against Tunisia. That's who we would have played
Mhm.
if we had made it through, which is why it's
And would
very
have
painful.
gone easily.
And you know,
Yeah.
Easily.
what's the last one? Equatorial Guinea against Senegal. So yes, those are the matches you should look out for. Of those ones, though, I think the one I would really want to see is Senegal, Equatorial Guinea.
Yeah, I think that's the match.
Yeah,
to
because
watch.
Senegal actually
They've been
upset Mali.
struggling.
They've done well, but Senegal has struggled, but Equatorial Guinea upset Mali.
Yes.
In the penalty shootout. So I think that's the one tactical battle I'd like to see. I also want to see a North African derby with Morocco against Egypt. But Egypt hasn't been so spectacular. So maybe Ashraf Hakimi
Yeah.
set piece
He
will win it
did.
for them.
Yeah, that was beautiful in the round of
So
16.
let's see how that turns out. But those are the ones we want to see.
Okay, so we've got this one in Brazil. Goalkeeper Alisson Becker had 2 red cards overturned by VAR reviews as Brazil hung on for a controversial 1-1 World Cup qualifier draw with Ecuador on Thursday, with both teams having a player dismissed.
Now, so they were playing this match in the 15 minutes. There was a red card given to the keeper
Yeah.
of the
Ecuador.
Ecuador. So he left. 5 minutes later, another red card given to the Brazilian player.
Emerson Royal, call his name because he should have had a red card before the goal. Yes, he elbowed somebody and got a yellow. I haven't seen it before. If it's African football, they flash it across headlines.
So he had a red card. So both teams were playing 10 men down. 25th minute into the match, Alisson had a high boot outside his 18, and he was given a straight red.
Oh wow.
But really, and then the VAR advised the referee to go to look at the monitor, which he did. But it's really controversial. The first red card was really controversial because why? It happened after the attack. So he hit the player after he had already hit the ball. So because of that, they rescinded the first red card. Now towards the end, so both teams scored, was 1-1 towards the end of the match. So so he hit the player. Alisson was trying to clear his path and hit the player and left the ball, and then he caught the ball and he was given a second yellow, which was now a red card, right? And so Ecuador should have had a penalty, but both was rescinded again by the VAR. So it's like, what's going on?
Yeah, it was.
Why such?
It was nasty.
It was really nasty, especially the
Far.
second yellow. And then because you could see, and then it was like, do you favor the big boys, or is it really a foul? I mean, so this VAR comes to it's a little contagious. I mean, it's a lot of
Controversial on
it's
all
very
sides.
controversial on all sides. The African drama had its own. Now is the
No, this South American one, I can't even-
drama
because
is
it was
something
Brazil.
else.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was. See, I have a problem with Brazilians playing in Brazil. Something always happens. Sorry, something always goes in
Is
their
it
favor.
too physical?
No,
No,
something.
just-
The calls always seem to go in their favor. Allison had high boots. You need to see this tackle.
Yes,
It
people
was
have been given
of-
less. Red for less.
It was
really.
of character proportions. He chopped the guy's ear down.
Yeah.
Yes, he got the
No.
ball first, but he chopped the guy's ear. That, even if it's not intentional, is dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand why the referee say, okay, he got the ball, but it was a dangerous tackle. What's his leg doing that high up?
Mm-hmm.
What's happening there?
Like I said, it was of karate proportions.
Seriously, dude.
So I don't understand why it wasn't a red card. But on that note, so Brazil and Argentina have already qualified. Argentina beat Chile 2-1. But
Without their coach and without their captain. So
it was
felt
Angel
like-
Di Maria that was wearing the captain. And
Yeah.
So that was through. But for Ecuador, they're now 7 points behind Colombia, and they're thinking, will we ever catch up and go to this World Cup? Seeing that this could have been 3 points,
Yeah.
it's sad. But yeah.
Okay, hold on. We've got this one in from Sam from Ikoyi, who says, please, when are we going to start talking about Argentina and the ruthless determination in that team? Without Messi, they won Chile in Chile's home ground.
Wow, we just mentioned them.
Wow. Yeah, we did. And Celia says, was the ref in the Brazil game an EPL referee?
It could have been.
Must have been an EPL referee, says Celia. Whilst Tayo says, what's even scary is that Ogenero is being touted as a new coach for Ghana. Let him do well for us. We need to qualify for Qatar based on past relationship. Don't dull us, right?
No, but your past relationship didn't end well.
Yeah.
You know, it's like calling the girlfriend that broke your TV to come and favor you in that way. It will not happen. If she broke your TV when she was leaving, what do you think that she will do?
Oh, and Akin Adesoji up on Twitter is
Oh yeah, trying
directed
to share
your-
that Samuel Kalu story. I don't want to talk about Samuel Kalu's story yet
Mm.
until they finalize,
First.
because now it's just
Yeah.
talk. Now it's just back talk. So when an officially comes out to say we are suspecting, then we'll talk about it. Akin Adesoji.
Alright, there we go.
All right, next story. Okay, so let's talk about Syria, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay, so Syria. Syria is on the verge of financial ruin. So Italy's Syria is at the risk of insolvency and needs more financial support from the government during the pandemic, as well as stadiums at higher capacity, according to the Inter Milan chief. That's Giuseppe Morata. No, Marotta, right?
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah, Giuseppe Marotta.
Okay, so in an interview, Marotta said that the country's political institutions could no longer ignore the financial plight of the Italian soccer. The quote here says, "It's a system at the edge of abyss, and it's which without a doubt has already had issues before COVID, but which has received virtually no support in these 2 years in the pandemic."
Okay,
Okay.
not to say anything, but this sounds very Italian.
Yes. So I was going to say, you have to see, before you start agreeing that the Syria is in financial ruins, you have to know who the quote is coming from and what the agenda behind the quote
So
is. Because
what-
Italians are like Nigerians, they must always agenda. Okay,
Oh wow.
so here is what it is. Yes, the Italian Syria had struggled financially, but the Italian Syria is on the up. If you watch Italian Syria games and matches and all. However, there's stories behind this. Number one, where a lot of countries were giving, football some assistance,
Mhm.
the Italian government did not give football assistance. They're like, it's just rich men that are being stupid with their money. Because in their mind, football is football now. It's a game. It's not
It
a
shouldn't be that
business.
investment.
So they were just like, they didn't give the Italian football the kind of aid that they needed. Like,
In
they
the
got
EPL.
in England, they got in Spain.
Mm.
That's one. Then number two, while some countries allowed fans to come fully into the stadium before they had to reduce the number of fans again, they never did that in Italian Serie A. So you can imagine that there are some Italian Serie A matches that were not even full on a normal day. You now make it 50 capacity.
Oh, wow.
It now becomes worse.
Oh,
So,
jeez.
What this guy, so as much as this guy is saying Italian Serie A is in financial ruin, it's not necessarily the finance of the Serie A that is the problem. It's the fact that he's trying to raise an alarm so that he can get some leeway from the government. Notice that this is not a Serie A official saying that it's in it. It is the owner of a club. He just wants his stadium to be full again. He just wants
He
some
needs to make
aid.
his money back.
So agenda must agenda. So when you read this story, know that there's an agenda behind this. Syria is not in financial rules. I mean, they're struggling financially over the
But they're
recent
doing
years.
better than the La Liga.
Well,
Because they couldn't afford Messi. And some clubs are really struggling.
please, Messi is not a yardstick for is he financially well. So yes, so huge deal. It's just Marotta trying to gaslight us.
All right, now let's move from Italy to Germany because a German football coach on Wednesday was banned from football for a year and fined 20,000 euros when he admitted he used fake documents.
Yes, so himself and his assistant, instead of going to take the vaccination like normal people do, he went and forged the papers and bought a card
He's one
to
of
show
those
that
people on
he's
the
taking
news.
double vaccinations. What that meant was that he didn't go through all the protocols that unvaccinated people will
Yeah.
go through. So for 8 months, so before they caught him.
Wow.
Himself and his, so yeah, they were fine. So he's out for a year. He's not going to get any job, and then he's going to pay that fine. So if he didn't have money before, he's even much more in debt, himself and his assistant. But yeah, the story teaches us: don't lie.
Be like Novak.
Don't be like Novak.
Say the truth.
no,
Say the truth.
no,
and
Novak said the truth after they put in it out. Don't be a Novak.
You know,
Be a Rafa.
there's some people that take a different lesson from this, but it's okay.
Yeah, but the last case we wanted to talk about was Karim Benzema. Okay, so if you
Yes.
remember that sex case, scandal case he had, where somebody was trying to blackmail his
Valbuena.
teammate Valbuena, and he told Valbuena to pay. So he was found guilty of that, and he
So
was
he
given
was
a
actually the one.
no, he was
No,
not
no,
the
no.
one.
Ah,
Somebody was trying to blackmail Valbuena. He now told Valbuena to pay the person.
Okay.
So so he knows the guy. Anyway, so in his mind, like, I'm sure he said it like, how much is it? Just pay him so that this thing will end. But still guilty. So he was told to now pay for Valbuena's legal fees and everything else. The guy now appealed, and because he appealed, he refused to pay. So as he arrived France,
Oh wow.
they froze his account.
Oh.
So that because Valbuena's lawyers appealed that, look, since you gave this verdict, he has not paid us. So they've frozen that amount of money in his account and kept. So now his lawyers are saying they should put that money in escrow until the appeal is over. Valbuena's lawyers are like, nah, that's not the ruling. Pay me my money.
On that note, we have to end the show, but real quick, we'll just have this one in from B up on YouTube. B says VAR should be used the way they use TMO in rugby. They should let us hear how they get to their decision.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And on that note, we end the show. But hold on. Make sure you go over and you check them out up on social media. Tega is at Tega Supreme. Find her on Twitter. Tackle her on Twitter. Don't cry if she bites you on Twitter. And you can find Dr. Rose
Dr. Rose with AJ.
On Instagram.
on Instagram.
And
And
next week
soon on
Twitter.
Twitter. According to Kaidi. All right. Coming up, we've got great music for you. Feel good music for a Feel Good Friday.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, people should go and turn off YouTube before we start to do things that we don't want people to see. Lagos want to gossip,
I want to go.
and we don't want you to hear our gossip.
Oh, you look at the one. All right. See ya.
All right,
Enjoy your weekend. I need to run along.
Sorry, love. All right, people.
Did this guy win the wheelchair